colored workers before. You said they must have been sweepers.
Mm.
Could you say that? You know, that you never heard of?
Really and truly, I'd never heard of a colored person working in the mill. Not until after the union. Maybe there were some that came in.
No, I think, but you seem to be surprised that there was a black local, that they were in the union.
Yeah, I was surprised.
So could you tell me that really and truly, maybe you just said maybe they were, a local of sweepers. That's what you were saying.
They might have been in there working in the warehouse or maybe sweeping. I don't know. But John never did tell me about it. So, undoubtedly they did have one or two.
Could you say, okay, and that's great. And I'm just going to open up to that page again where that colored local is.
Mm-hmm. That's on Liberty Street. That was a colored street. Listed in this directory, United Textile Workers of America, local number 2145. C in parentheses, Frank Dewberry, secretary, meets Saturday at 10 a.m. at 511 and a half South Liberty. Waste is the Union Waste Company.
Now wait, what were you saying about Liberty Street?
That's where they were to meet on Saturdays.
Now, you told me that you said, now Liberty Street was in the, could you say, and Liberty Street was, and tell me what neighborhood?
Part of it was in white and part was in colored. Black, as they like to be called.
So could you tell me, so are you suggesting that, could you say that well, they were meeting in a part of town that was black? Well, this local union was meeting in a part of town that was black?
Mm-hmm.
Could you say that?
They met at 511 and a half South Liberty. There were some blacks that lived down there, and a few whites. So it could be either one, but it must have been a black that lived there too, somewhere on that street, down below here.
And could you say, now I know could you tell me what jobs the black people were doing at the time, and then imagine that's what they were doing, that's what this local union was?
Black people, most of them did washing and ironing and things like that. And the men who were laborers, I guess. But I just never heard of one being in a mill at that time. There are plenty in there now.
But at the time, you just said that it might have been that they all worked in the warehouse.
It could be.
Could you tell me that again? Refer to this local union?
The local union on 2145, it could be a warehouse that they worked at or some other place like that. But it says United Textile Workers of America local. So undoubtedly they must have had a few in there. Kept it quiet.
Quiet because why? What do you mean quiet?
Well, they had, coloreds back then, and whites, most of them didn't clash. Of course, I had a lot of black friends.
And your husband was a local organizer. Did he help organize any of the black workers?
If he did, he never mentioned it to me.
Could you repeat my question in your answer? Could you say, now my husband was real active, but if he organized these black workers, he never told me? Could you tell me that?
Yeah, well, John, my husband, was very active in the textiles. And it says textile union, where he worked. But he never mentioned it to me that he did organize them. Although he might have.
So I'm just going to ask you to say one more thing and then we're done. Say, now, my husband being as active as he was, I still never heard of the black workers. Could you say
My husband been in the union like he was, in the job that he had in the union. He never mentioned any niggers in the union. But maybe he didn't think it would be important. I don't know. He didn't have any regrets about college.
And do you think that the other textile workers in the area, do you think they all would have joined if it was a mixed local?
Probably not.
Could you tell me that?
I don't know, but I don't. Just back then, it was a lot of difference between whites and blacks. But I don't know whether they would mix with the union or not. Of course, it has that here in this book. You'll have to ask somebody else.